Welcome back to the Lawn Care Grandpa channel. Today we're going to be talking about issues that homeowners and landscapers have to deal with. And today is about dog pee spots. Now, you might have seen them, you may not. There's brown spots that some people get in their lawns. Now, not everybody gets them. Depends on the size of the dog and that kind of thing. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Okay. So why is it that those brown spots happen in your lawn when a dog pees in
I guess it's the acid from the urine, but if you have a problem like that, I maybe designate an area where I'd walk my dog or let him out in an area that didn't show like the front yard. And I know you love it when a neighbor comes over and walks their dog over your lawn. But really, if you have much of a spot, a very large spot, you can just dig up a little bit, just reseed it, and it'll come up. Because the dog won't pee in the same exact spot every time. But if it gets to be big, it can be a nuisance, and there's nothing you can do except dig up the area that the dog's working on. Just kind of skim it like you're taking up sod, put down some new sod.
So what's the difference in like female dogs and male dogs? Now there's this myth going around that female dogs have more acidity or more nitrogen or something in their urine that causes those spots. What would be the difference in why maybe female dogs would make more spots in a lawn?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious if you watch them. The female dog will just squat down and dump it all right there in one spot. But you know, a male dog will find a tree or a fire hydrant or something to pee on, and his won't be exactly like hers by any means. The female dog will obviously make a bigger spot and probably be seen more often.
So could you like just dilute it? How is there a way to just dilute it? If you see where they're going, what's a way that you could dilute it?
Well, if you turn your dog loose in that area pretty often, I guess if you could just sprinkle it a little bit extra, you'd thin it out, and it might not be a bother that way. But that'd be something you just have to evaluate as the spots begin to be more obvious. Then you take care of it that way, I suppose.
So like what you're saying is you get it like a hose or something, and then you spray it off or have to do it so it dissipates.
If you don't have a sprinkler system, you'd have to do it by hand, but you can always turn a sprinkler on a little extra right after your dog's been out.
Yeah, that'd work. There's this, I guess some people call it a myth, where you can put a certain type of stone in a dog's watering, and that way it will dilute their urine. Have you heard anything about that?
Actually, no. I don't know if that would work or not. I'm sure you could go to a dog kennel or maybe a place similar to that, like maybe even the veterinarian, and let them look at it and just tell you what they have that would eliminate that problem. That's about the only thing I can tell you.
So it's probably better to deal with it after they do it, because some of that stuff may or may not work. Do you handle different types of grasses differently when there's spots, like Bermuda grass versus rye versus bluegrass? I mean, what would be the difference in how you would fix those kind of spots?
Well, actually, the toughest grass is Bermuda, but a lot of people don't like it because middle of the winter it always turns to a dead look. But you wouldn't have any rye, I don't think, in the middle of the summer. Usually rye is from late October till maybe early May. But if you did have it, you just have to reseed it, because you have to wash it really good, thin it out real good, and maybe even put a little fertilizer in that general area, and reseed it with whatever your lawn is made up of. In our area around here, we usually use fescue. It's a good hearty seed, and it really looks good.
So what about like Bermuda? I know it kind of sends out those tendrils, and you think it would just take back over?
Oh yeah, Bermuda will grow real good to take over a spot where you've scooped out something if it's not too big. Bermuda looks good on the lawns in the summer mainly, but in the wintertime it just is dead looking. Looks like your lawn's just dying off. So a lot of times people will use maybe a ryegrass and aerate it, fertilize it even in the wintertime to help it grow, and the rye will make that Bermuda less obvious. So That's what I do a lot of times.
So let's say you have those pea spots that a dog makes. Should you get rid of the dead area, the dead plant, the dead grass, and then reseed it or put sod in or something, or should you just go right over it?
Well, it's like dumping a chemical. Sometimes people painting will go outside and just pour it out in the lawn, make a big dead spot. If they do, if there's enough of it that needs to be scooped up, maybe you take a square shovel and it's just like taking up sod. Go about a ½ inch to an inch deep, put in some new topsoil, and even at doing that, sometimes the chemical will still be there and cause you some problems. You don't know how much you have to dig out until you've actually done it a time or two, and if it comes back, then you may have to dig a little deeper. But that's what you were going to do. If it's a big spot, just dig out some of the topsoil, fill it in, put sod down.
Okay. Or you can seed it.
Yeah. You put down some topsoil, seed it.
Well, that's all for today. Today was about dog pea spots, those brown spots you get in your yard. Now, sometimes you'll see the center of it will be brown where the nitrogen or the acid has killed off the grass, and then out from it a little bit, it'll be green because it's really just the same kind of things that are in fertilizer. So what's happening is it's dissipated out into those dark green circles around them. So any of those problems that you have, hopefully today we've given you some ways for you to address those. If you like this video, click like, and if you like these videos in general, subscribe to the channel. You'll get some more videos periodically. And we appreciate you coming by.